forgot to activate the monitoring screen. Okay. Right back. Girl. Might be in school. That's not good. Okay. It's over there. Oh my. Whew. Yep. That's why the stream is starting soon. Good. We go hunt for white paint. Box. And it's mountain there. Alright, it must be at school. That sucks. But let's stay in that. There's some deck growing. And we're good. Oh, we're working on all that. Okay, the camera's pointed there. Where should be working? Should be there. Well, idiot turned the camera to face me. No, working on all sorts of stuff tonight. Less now than I thought I'd be working on. I thought I'd be starting the painting on the big boy. I have plenty of white acrylic, but I kind of wanted to start with the good old latex. Come to think of it, I really should spray the inside first, so I guess that's fine. Oof. I know we've got white enamel spray here. There we go. Use on metal or wood. Well, my stuff's like wood. Why do I seem so out of basic crap? I should be loaded. Absolutely loaded. Yeah. Oh well. An excuse to go out of the house again. Yes! Version 1 of the crown has been completed, but it has some problems in that the circlet of the crown, I think, is quite small and flimsy. So what I did was I redesigned it, and now it's about the thickness of a pencil, which is a little bit more. Right now it's only about 3 milliliters thick, and the new one is 8. Yep, that is the 3D printed Crown of the Horned King. And if worse comes to worse, when the new print goes out and I don't like it, well, I've got this, which is fine. A-okay, fine. All right. So that should be, that at very least is good enough to take the, we're drinking some Koss tonight. I am in the mood for drink. Woo! Woohoo! Whee! Oh, let's get some tunes going. We're going to experiment with some royalty-free stuff, because I would really like to have tunes. Let's see here. Dark royalty-free music. Playlist. Dark royalty-free music. Playlist. Yep. Oh. Let's check. Epic, dramatic, dark, instrumental. The dark side, royalty-free music. Let's try this one. And let's also go looking for that. Ah, there, I see it. Yep. Excellent. I see the rock. All right, we'll get that posted on YouTube very soon, so everybody can see it. So that's just popped up. Right. And if any of this stuff gets flagged, then whatever. Right, I probably ought to set it to play in this room. Settings. Disable the toothy blue. Let's have this thing play it. Cool. Close enough. We'll see if we like it. It's not horrible at the moment. All right. And the donations from yesterday let me go out to, the day before yesterday, really. Let me go out to Lowe's, pick up all the stuff we need for the next Sentinel. So I got all the PVC. I got the connectors, everything. Looked like they transferred just fine, Goliath. Should be awesome. Looks like a heck of a project. Right. These are all the connectors for the next Sentinel. We're going to try doing a little bit of urethane on the prints because I've heard / seen that is an excellent deumificator for making them smoother without having to go crazy on the treatments and sanding it for 11 billion hours. X-Acto blades. We'll give the other areas of the arms for the Sentinel another hit of wood stain, because that really did great last time. Probably give the big pumpkin a flip and start some wood staining of his internal areas that are all hard to reach. That guy, we can get oh, he's heavy. Come on. There we go. The next Sentinel is most likely going to be just kind of a large claw. I don't know if I'm going to put anything in his hands, but kind of a jumping out at you design is my hypothesis at the moment. At the moment, though, we got to get this beach ball out. There's one thing you lose with the oh man. Normally you can lose water from two sides if you have more of a trash bag configuration because there's more of a void in there. But ouch, if you don't have the void spaces, it has less places to go, and consequently, man. Oh, come here. Unfortunately, I made the hole small enough. I can't grab the inside of the beach ball as well. And part of the beach ball is heavily sticking to the inside there, more so than usual. There it goes. I like some of the stuff at Party City. They usually have a nice general assortment of Halloween stuff. Now this thing should dry a lot better. Don't leave that Home Depot, though. They've had a surprisingly good Halloween lineup last few years. And very inexpensive skulls. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. A little bit of the inside is still, because it can't get, none of the moisture can get through the ball. That inside was staying damp. But now, hell of a good chance to get done. No moldy smell, though. That's nice. But we got that nice. It's practically an instrument. Got that nice flat beach ball interior. That's going to be great. I'm half tempted to carve open the face for continued and extra aeration. I think I might. Why the hell not? No, we're skipping the ads. Woof. Come to think of it, though, this was a lot easier with the Dremel, so I might just cut a few parts open now for extra air. Get the rest with the Dremel later. Not bad. I can't say that surprises me. Spirit Halloween often does the towards does some of the off-season sales to try to clear out any of their back inventory, particularly of stuff that they're not bringing back for whatever reason. Sometimes it's good. Most of the time it's just the God damn it. Most of the time it's just the chintzy party crap. Only problem I always have with X-Acto blades. Whew. You know, I should probably make like a permanent mount for the Dremel. That wouldn't be too hard to do, especially if I got the flex shaft going on it. I could mount it right on the thing right there. All right, let's not screw around with this too much. Just want to get some airflow. There we go. Just a couple of openings. Get some airflow. That'll help that dry a lot better. Oh, okay. Okay. I also want to refill my acetone. I want to refill my mineral spirits. And they're sitting right here. Good. Fluid in there was getting awful. Okay. Don't need that right now. This was part of an experiment that didn't go anywhere. This is done. This will be later. These are for the Sentinel. So they can sit there-ish. Hell? No, no thank you. No hip-hop, please. That's also hip-hop. No thank you. There's that. Water's full. This tool can go over there. I'm going to try that other next. This is not floating my boat. That can go way back there. Alright, let's grab some arms. Somehow this even feels lighter. Weird. That second coat really helped. Oh, I got the Dremel. Dremel will go through that stuff like nothing. That's right. And I also printed myself out one of these guys. I need to make the modifications and do the other fingers. The person who made the design made some pegs for it, but they were atrocious. Either my printer doesn't have the resolution to print them very well, or other factors. But suffice to say, I just went with some nails because they were much easier, and they worked every time. And these were dollar store nails, so. What is that Dacron? Yep, X-Acto blades are okay, but they're far from perfect. Far, far, far from perfect. Oh, why the hell would you have Dacron bowstring and not have the starting point? Oh, there it is. God. Oh, I see. It's like a wax thread. Yeah, I probably could. Over time, though, I'd very much like to use the words, big, careful words. I'd like to use metal just because over time PLA will degrade, and I would just assume go ahead and start off with a metal and have it stay there and never have to worry about it. Because I can go to the dollar store, get another container of those, cut them to size, and then insert them. Easy. Easy peasy. Yeah. As Lord knows, the filament never quite comes out perfect. And these are going to need extensive modifications before I use them as gloves. Chances are I'm probably not going to get to use them at all, except when I go do haunted house volunteering. Because at my haunt, I'm going to have to be able to hand out candy. And while these are wonderfully articulated, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to reach into a candy jar and grab candy pieces out and put them in people's bags. I will absolutely be able to spook people and all that fun jazz, but there's no way it's going to happen otherwise. And all I have to do now is make about 4 or 5 adjustments to the size for my different fingers and whatnot. And I need to do some modifications to this end piece because this is the only one that kind of wiggles and slides a little bit. But all the others are smooth articulation. So I have one fix to make. It's only that top piece that is off. The bottom one I already fixed. But yeah, we'll have a whole hand of this. And on this, they'll probably attach a glove. The glove will start from about here and go down and cover. And we'll have some nice big evil spooky claws. Though a guy named Gary Fay makes these with full hands, and he 3D prints them for you. He's got several custom designs. And if you don't have a 3D printer, look him up because he's awesome. Makes some incredible art. In fact, he pretty much made that design. And somebody else stole it, and then I printed it because I'm awful. Okay, so there's the... I like how that Dacron just meshes right back on there. All right, I'll have a go at painting that later. Garbage for that. Okay, which hand shall we start on? I think this one needs the grip point. It needs the upper hand done. This one needs the upper point done and the fingers done. So let's get rolling. Let's use this brush. It had great coverage. Let's cover my screen because I don't want the splatter catching this. Good. And then we'll have a little look at just how hard it really is to paint on PLA. I'm curious. I know you need to prime it, but I firsthand need to know how bad you need to prime it. his hip up. God. Well, at least you're out of making the tree mask. The tree gremlins sound like a bigger project, quite frankly. But you'll be able to make them more uniform, I think. Won't be so much of a chore to try to blend them with the tree. I can't say I've ever made that observation myself. Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to have to get that redone. In fact, anything else around here not need splatter on it? Kind of accepted that these walls eventually will get coated with whatever I'm spraying around, so that's not a big deal, but some other crap around here that doesn't need me to have to paint it more. Yes, they are, Courtney. We've been having a bang-up time with it. We have 2 witch orbs and the Crown of the Horn King, which I will be modifying my costume with for this year. Oh. How's life at Shea Casa Cunningham? Actually, if you give me a moment, I will bring those closer to the camera for inspection. Boring, huh? You know, I played with the idea of putting some cardboard up. And I may still. I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan of the green-ass walls in this room anyway. We got to do another tabletop sim game at some point, Courtney. See if we can get your buds there if we're up for some Betrayal at House on the Hill. Oop, there's a spot. There's second coat. Working its magic. Well, do or do not. There is no try. Oh, I've been waiting forever to use that one. Cardboard mache clay. I assume you're talking about grinding up cardboard and using it as the kind of the base. Yeah, no kidding. Just heard today that the governor canceled school for the rest of the year. Of course, you know what that means. It means administrators trying to find more ways to do more things and log more things. Yeah, I've never tried using chipped up cardboard as clay. Really, it's down to how finely you blend it. If I put some any paper product in my blender and let it go long enough, get it down to dust, you'd be in great shape. I just like the insulation because it's pre-shredded. Big Arts is a good channel. So Courtney, if you can get maybe yourself and Eric, and we can play a few games of Explore It, then I'll get the expansion because I want to play the first one first. What do you mean social distance? Are you sick? I'm not sick. Oh. Well, I'm not people. I'm a customer. I honestly think it's one thing if it's friends, but it's definitely another if I'm going to the store and there's a whole bunch of people I don't know. I have no knowledge of what's going on at their houses. Don came down for about a couple of days, a week or so ago. I have always wanted to Ghost Train. Always wanted to, but I have never made anything animated ever. I have 2 reindeer motors sitting back there. I have another torque motor to make a cauldron creep, but I have never had the chance to sit down, plan one out, and really get it done. But absolutely, I have always wanted to. All right, we got to do down here. And this guy is almost done. For certain, the arms are now done. That's true. I do have the time to make a cauldron creep now. I need to haul the big cauldron. I even bought the cauldron for it. I have literally everything I need to make one, except time. And now it seems I have a plethora of time. Oh. Yeah. So, Courtney, this is the 3D printed crown. And with the costume on, it's absolutely terrifying. I made it a little bit big so that it'll fit. It'll fit over the costume and stay up tall enough. The ultimate goal is Oh, that's why it's slipping. The ultimate goal is to print this out of a plastic that is translucent. Line the inside with green lights facing out. Then when I hit it, I should have glow up all the horns and any special parts of it. So that's the theoretical bit. More, Lucia. I am weird. Very weird today. I slept stupid late. I slept stupid long, and now I'm just stupid. I slept so long that I felt tired again. Let me put it that way. I don't like feeling like that. Oof. All right, let's. Why do I have no room? I have a massive craft area. What the hell? Yep. I'm very proud of the crown. Version 2 of the crown is actually printing downstairs again. It has the same motif, except its circlet is thicker. And I have a whole bunch of little skulls embedded in it instead of this quasi-Celtic patterning. Yep, I printed this crown out. Those arms are for this guy. They're going to be his arms. And he is a pumpkin sentinel with rib cage, arms, and all the other pumpkin-y bits that he needs. Yep. And then we will have then we'll also have creepy fingers for the Halloween costume as well. Anything you see here that is jet black and plastic is me. So that, this. And we're going to be having some fun. I assume you misprinted there, Ghost Train, and hit good. I absolutely do have good tutorials for the Mache pumpkins. If you go to my channel and go playlists, there are two. There is one for a regular pumpkin and one for a fancy carve pumpkin. However, they both use my old method, and the only difference between the old method and the new method is use a beach ball for the inside, and don't skin the outside, but make the outer coating pretty thick, and use some sort of tool to put the lines in for the pumpkin. And that is, that's it. It's the only difference. I had to take this time to update the pumpkin tutorial, too. Come here, my pretty. I gotta resize some of these for my fatter fingers. No, I do not use blood in any part of my haunt. That's just me. I suppose if I were going to do blood, I would probably... Well, I would definitely consider glue gun drips for anything that had to be thick blood. And I would use, creative variations of red paint for the rest. Like if you wanted your pumpkin bleeding, you can also use wax, but the problem with that is over time or with any kind of temperature fluctuation, it becomes problematic. I do not think I'm going to do 2 coats of this stuff on anything from the inside. Because the inside's going to be all but invisible. on Halloween. There you go. I have a feeling some other folks here will have a lot better concept of blood art than me. I can't do it just because I've got plenty of little kids who come through my haunt, and I don't want any parents to be like, no, we're not going through there. It's all blood and guts. I want everybody to come through. This is going to end up getting busted if I don't move it. There we go. String it up on the lamp. That'll do. The crown is 3 pieces. My print bed was not big enough to do it all in one. So it's cut into 2 halves. And then the front ornament is its own separate pin and super glued onto the rest. Yeah, but that crown came out very, very well. We're going to see how version 2 compares. And then I'm going to have to paint it. We'll see what we're going to do. Part of me thought about witchwooding it, which could honestly look quite good, but it's going to add some weight. And again, nobody's going to be staring at the crown that much. It's going to be there and then boom. Yay! I think that crown, I'm very proud of the crown, damn it. Cool. Now I'm going to see if I can put it back in the field of view here. Maybe. Like showing it off. I actually do want to kind of try to paint it later because it's just the prototype crown. I want to screw around with how tough and annoying PLA is to print. I have not, just because a lot of the 3D printing stuff is, number 1, covered by people who have been doing it a lot longer than me. Number 2, a lot of it is staring at a screen while somebody slowly makes small adjustments to parts. So the entertainment value on it is not huge. And, you know, you could argue the same thing for me doing this here now, but as far as I'm concerned, this is voluntary hanging out. Because the tutorials are the real butter for it. We'll see. Because I could also fast time the production. Then again, I've already done all the production for the crown. So that is not a piece I would need to do again. One of the great joys of 3D printing is, hey, I made it. Click, and it's another one. Gee, I need another one. Click, and it's going to make another one. It's like a copier. And it makes it ridiculously easy. Oh. That might work. We'll see. Well, what I can do is the next time I'm kibitzing with a 3D printing project, I can fire up the broadcaster, and if people want to hang out, they can hang out. And if they don't have to. I would not mind coming over and playing Explore It. Not at all. I can bring my copy of the expansion so Eric can get a chance to play it. Actually, the render time is non-existent because I'm using Mesh Mixer, and that is just everything's right there in front of you all the time. The print time, however, is another matter. The crown took about 24 hours to print in its entirety. Fantastic! That way I won't have to read the rules because he knew how to play last time. And he explained it in moments, and I got it just fine. Go for it, Ghost Time. Oof. All right. I think that's pretty okay. I'm going to go for a second coat up around the neck, but I don't think I'm going to second coat the shoulder blades in the back. I don't think anybody's ever going to care. Maybe we'll do some of the vine work inside, but only cursorily. Yeah, no kidding. I think if I ever played that game with Dave the first time, I would be. You want to play that again? No. What was that one he played and explained? It was the cards? It's like the Royals or something like that. But oh my god, I have no desire to play that game again. It's not because it's a bad game. It's like the intrigue cards and the various royalty cards. In fact, having some dark and light contrast on the back and the neck wouldn't be bad at all. That's kind of the point, Ghost Train. In fact, that is exactly the point. Be as one-eyed Willy as possible. Nope. Okay. Can't hit around the face because I want to do the back. And his inside face has to be sprayed white anyway. All right, Courtney, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Give me a time, chat with your friends, and we'll see if we can set up some Betrayal and some Explore It. We'll have us a grand old time. right, so I gotta find my white latex, white outdoor latex, which I'm actually afraid is at school, which means I won't be able to get to it till Monday. And that's gonna be a pain in the arse. Pardon. Let's check the other side of that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I said, nobody's ever gonna be poking their nose in here to go, wait a minute, it's not all perfectly stained. Part of me is actually thinking I would love to load this stain into my airbrush for some of those hard to reach spots in the back. That depends on how high off the ground I spike it. Because it's either going to be on a piece of rebar spike, or it's going to be on a like a 4x4, 2x4 wooden cross. He'll have to be a little bit taller than a general adult, and he'll have to be at a point where when his eyes look down, they're looking at about the, 4 foot tall height of a trick-or-treater. More stain! Oh, no problem. I honestly thought the stain, I remembered it looking a lot better, and that's why I hit the second coat. Oh yeah, this had to be witchwood. Nothing, no way around it. And now that I have a monstrous amount of cotton, I see no reason to not do a ton. It's just so easy to do. And weirdly enough, the light is telling me that the surface of this is kind of dry. So I'm going to hit it again real quick. If I can get 2 quasi coats in the same sitting, hell yeah. I'm just going to make sure I give them enough light on Halloween night. And it's got to be normal light, not just a bucket of green. Because green's good, but green washes out all the other colors. Where's the back of his head? There it is. Let's make sure we keep this with him. Don't lose it. Yeah. He needs a nice warm white or true white spotlight. Okay. That's about all we can do with him for right now. So the arms are done. His body is mostly done. Oh, crud. Of course, as soon as I pick it up, I spot the two places on the ribs that are totally not done. There we go. Close enough. All right. Is there anything else that needs staining right now? Nothing that I see. Yep, green light has its place, and we illuminate with green light like mad. But green light, in fact, if you flood any color, it washes it out. So you're always going to lose detail and coloration with any kind of colored light. Most people make the problem of they absolutely flood with green or they flood with red. Red light's the worst. If you flood with anything, it's awful. I forgot to put this brush in water. Crap. Fortunately, I shouldn't need it. I might need it. Damn. All right. It's all right. Be prepared for this eventuality. There we go. Instant softening. Hey, I'm touching the booze. You know the rule. You touched it, you gotta drink it. Gas. Yep. That stuff just sprays all over the place. Yeah, I wasn't able to go to the dollar store and get or look for softer brushes. Sadly. Where did those mineral spirits go? They must be here. Let's get this. Table more cleaned up. Stain all over the place here. Not been that in of itself. I just don't want it screwing up any other projects. I actually learned that one when I went to, where was it? Haunt Fair in Long Island many years ago. They had a couple of lighting expert type folks there, and they talked about the oversaturation of scenes with colored light. Showed us a whole bunch of photos of different haunts and ones that were done right versus ones that were, needing improvement. Okay. Well, let's play a little game. How bad is it to paint on PLA? No, that's right. I have more paints over here. Hi, Madge. What are you doing, football? more brushes over here. And I have my calipers over here. Why do I have my calipers over here? Oof. Going to the Makes Things Other Colors drawer. Oof. Where's that brush I usually use for detail? I know you know, but I must learn. Now is the time. Now is the time for painful knowledge. There was that nice blue-handled brush. All right, fine. It's not like I don't have enough brushes. This goes nice. That goes in the sticks things to other things. This is 120. This is garbage. Do I have a 200 grit? $120. Yeah, 220. It's all 220. Fantastic. All right. Well, close your eyes and grin. We're about to get some first-hand experience. Yeah, I've heard ABS is the more harder of the two. Huh. At some point I need to kibitz with ABS. Sadly, I do not have a mask up here. Well, I figured this sandpaper really isn't the coarsest of stuff, so shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. The more we craft, the more we become our projects. Now, if this was, if I was using a power sander, Lucia, I would definitely be using a mask. But this is hand sanding. It's really not that bad. I'm going to kick most of this stuff off as dust right here. If I was outside with rock dust or anything like that, you can bet I'd be using some more protection. But like I said, this doesn't seem that bad. I could, but this is not wet, dry sandpaper. Trust me, it's fine, said every man just before something went horribly wrong. All right. So that one, we're just going to give a light sand to. I don't know how this one's going to go. I'm going to try a little 220 on it. Yeah, not that dangerous. I'm not going to it, so we're all right. And believe me, I am a stickler for caution, so if I thought there was a risk, you can better believe I'd be geared for it. It doesn't really take much to get a quick, take the shine off. Don't worry. These angles are really friggin' awkward, though. Okay. So first, I'm gonna dust it. All right. And then we're going to find out how bad this is. We'll do some experimentation. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. All right. So here's that. Let's grab a soft brush because we can. And a drink because we can. I had thought about it, but version 2 of the crown is printing now. So this would be a good one to experiment on. You have a good idea there, my friend. Yeah, a soft brush. It's a little wide. How about you? Yeah. All right, let's try. Well, the prints take so very long to do, so like this one took 24 hours to do. Version 2 is going to take about 2 days due to the extra thickness of the circlet. So let's do 3 experiments. Let's find out how bad which wood is, or how bad it is to paint PLA. 1. Let's find out if spar urethane really smooths it as much as that YouTube video would let me believe. Then we'll find out how well does which wood hang out with PLA. We're going to try it, Danielle. We're going to try it. Because I want to know for many other projects. Yep, pretty much. Well, as you find with most of these, any project that's mache based, it's best to have multiples going because you always hit that drying time linchpin. Or it's like, there's nothing else I can do on this one. I still have crafting time, so let's get the next one out. Get it all going at once. Yeah, this is nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. It's definitely kind of a 2-coater, but this is fine. And that's not even primed. That's just a light sand. Oh. Yeah, I can imagine a rib cage being a massive print. All right, let's speed up the drawing. Yep, I wanted to make sure that I had a good raven skull or bird skull of some flavor on there. All right, well, there is a problem with painting PLA. If you miss, there's so many microscopic cracks that it's hard to get your paint back out of. May as well speed this up. This is my rifle, this is my gun, this one's for dry and that one's for fun. And yes, I know PLA melts. I've already done the smoothing experiment with the heat gun. Yep, ABS is the only one that works for. PLA is responsive to methylene chloride, but methylene chloride is not a chemical I feel like playing with. It's just not worth the long-term risk factors. Yep. Or you should do ABS in an enclosed printer. Ideally externally ventilated, but you know, do what you can. This is Apple Barrel Matte Acrylic Paint from Walmart. It's definitely needs a couple layers to coat, but that's really not that bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, yes I am. Ah! Yep, between Fusion 360, Thingiverse, and Mesh Mixer, I'm doing it. Yeah. So it's not all me, not by a long shot. I stole the Raven Skull from Thingiverse. I stole the Antler from Thingiverse. I tipped both the original creators. But I did assemble all the parts into that configuration. Now we need yellow. Now, chalkboard paint. Huh. I'm curious. I'm curious. Let's give this other side a quick. Roughing. Yep, Thingiverse is 3D printing enthusiast bread and butter right there. Whole bunch of designs for free. Yep, I tried Blender out too. I liked Fusion 360 a little bit better. Need a box. Need some ventilation. They have vaguely similar interfaces. I found Fusion slightly more intuitive after I screwed with it, and it's a little bit more coordinate based. Lock. Okay. Click. Gotcha. Well, that's not good. Really? Could be this is just a dead can. Of course, the minute I point at my face to try to see if there's a problem, I'll get a blast. Yep. It's a shame. I thought chalkboard paint might actually be the strange and mysterious answer. Sculpting tools. Ugh. Tiny needle point that I always stab myself with. Alright, one more try and then... Nope. Yep, this thing's going in the garbage. Alright, I use restroom. Be back in just a moment, and then we'll do some more shenanigans. Yeehaw. Yep, that's a deaf one. Or a dead one. Whew. Yeah, the biggest problem with Fusion for meshes is that you have to crank the vertices distance or density. That screensaver, the animation on it, is by a company called Atmos FX. They do some great stuff, and they gave me permission to use their videos. So long as I credit them, atmosfx.com. They're amazing! And I use them and a whole bunch of other stuff for my haunt projections on Halloween. They do really, really good. Worried me. This one's got the same type of top. And now I'm thinking, oh my god, are all my ones with this top all screwed up, and that's why a lot of them were at the dollar store? Darn right. That's what it's all about. Plug, 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 plug! Okay, this should be good soon. Alright, let's see if this one is also screwed up. Nope. This consistency sucks. Yep. Mine hung a little bit when I tried to do it, but wasn't too bad. The thing I find is when I export from Fusion to Mesh Mixer, I have to go through the simple step of just jacking all of the vertices in it before I export it. Yeah. Man, I'd rather use the spray acrylic. Yep. Do you remember usually how I mix them? Yeah. Agreed. Well, like I said, I go from Fusion to Blender, or to Mesh Mixer. Jack the mesh count, let Fusion 360 have a slight aneurysm, and then send the file over. And then Mesh Mixer doesn't really care. Mesh Mixer loves me just the way I am. But Mesh Mixer also doesn't give me the precision that I need. Like when I made the circlet for the crown here, I had to know that it was X number of millimeters across. And Mesh Mixer does that kind of. But Fusion 360 is, okay, this is 21.962 millimeters across. Boom. Gives me the precise measurement. I like the acrylic paint better. Yeah. Fusion does a fantastic job of that. That is going to take. Still got that. Oh wow! I guess that is dryish. Jeebus. Well. I may not get to try witchwooding this thing tonight, unfortunately. Well, this is certainly a better bone color, but that can easily be fixed. And then there's one last paint option I want to try on this before I quit farting around with it. Take care, Trev. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. It's getting up there in temperature. I don't want it to warp at all. And the only other thing to try is right here. Will do, man. Will do. I've heard that if you give your stuff a coat of urethane, it number one takes some of the print lines, smooths them, and number two gives you a better painting surface to launch on. So we're going to try a little bit of that too. Once I'm sure that's dry. Ish. Oh, that's pretty dry. Okay. Well then. What smeg is in here? Brush, 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 brush. Choppy thing. Brush. And paint. Good. Bag I found downstairs that had artsy stuff in it. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? My night's going okay. Just getting to work on sorting out the painting prospects for the crown of the Horn King. The prospects are pretty good. And another brush. And paint. Paint. Let's see how. Ouch! That was the heat gun. Little hot glue gun style accident. Wow. Let's use this one. Yeah. More surprising than annoying, but still. You want to know how I got these scars? A heat gun. Where else? Pretty much. Sentinel is coming along fantabulously. Just did some work on it earlier. The ribs are pretty much all colored where they need to be. The problem I've got now is I'm pretty sure my outdoor white paint is at school. So that's a bit of a pain in the butt. I gotta go there and get it probably on Monday. And because once I've got that here, I can get the pumpkin head rolling and the mini pumpkins too. I was kind of hoping I would be able to start that tonight, but it was not to be, sadly. And right now I'm just hitting this little skull with some wash. So I want to see how much it pools in the crevices of the print. So far, not so bad. Same thing on this antler. I'm gonna jack that just a little bit. Yeah, as we all know, burns can get pretty bad from any of these heat sources. Pretty agonizingly, annoyingly bad. Blood, sweat, and second-degree burns. This is a rather ineffective wash. Oh, there's the burn. Probably should have used alcohol. Let's try it. Ah. Do I really need to use alcohol? Not just yet. Be more effective? Yes. Required? No. I'm just running low on patience. Sorry. Well, I think we've learned a fair bit. The acrylic does a great job at just sitting there. The spray is pretty nice. Several coats of the spray would do incredibly well, especially how I have it now. And now I need to know, does the varnish give you a better paint surface? So let's find out. Let's first make sure we're using a brush that I don't care about. So, there's a smell I haven't smelled in quite a while. And where are we going to put this this once it is dry. Or once it is inaccessibly damp. I'd like to put it up there. So let's move this. Okay. Ready spot. Okay. Let's test the rumor. Rumor says that if I urethane this, and the next time I go to paint it, lots of the painting or the print lines will be masked, and it'll be much easier to get a good paint surface on. So saith the legend. Or so saith the YouTube, I should say. But as we all know, the YouTube is only occasionally to be trusted. Though, quite frankly, most crafter videos always tell the truth. The political and free energy videos you gotta watch out for. Spray paint was also good at finding some of the stringers that were on the project still. Yeah. Very true on that front. Sometimes I wonder with Pinterest, because a lot of it is just collecting things that you think are neat and making the the ill thought out promise of, oh, I'll make that later. Sure you will. Imagery in the frame. It's also hips. These surfaces. There's a few surfaces in here that I don't like, just because of the way they were printed. And we'll see if this does in fact give them some smoothing. Oh, definitely. Yep. On that one, when I've got some more time, in fact, probably once I'm done with this here in a few minutes, I'll start doing a little bit of extra ridging on it. Because I've got some paper clay here to use up. Some cooling of urethane. which is not surprising, but mildly annoying, because it always seems to do that. Let's get the inside too. It's all good. Not worried at all. Let's also see what happens here. I heard something. Oh, it's those beats. So leave some uncovered, some covered. The side's pretty much all been hit with it. Now let's set it up there and see what happens after 24 hours. Not going to get to Witchwood it, unfortunately, but I gotta know about all the paint. I get a hammer up here. All right. If that works well, then I'll hit the witch orbs with it before I paint them. In fact, water was nice, but the cost is potent. Okay. Flakies. I love playing with flakies. Brushes, go back. Tools, go back. For the moment. Bits of other experiments. Go back. Now. Or. Bring fine. Bring your bowl with you, but you didn't want to do that. You wanted to be a big man. Cool. Let's do the rounding experiment in earnest. So, I'm already wondering if it's worth the time to do it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I kind of like the bump here, but to the casual observer, I don't think that they would notice it at all. We'll see here in a moment. Because I've also got to hit it with some smoothing. We'll see what's what. I'll also finish up some of these teeth here too. Let's do that first. Good stuff. But at least unlike yesterday, I don't have to worry about touching one part and screwing up everything because the whole darn thing is a huge wad of clay. That's kind of nice. Yes, it definitely will cause all of the textures to pop some more. That will happen for sure. And then we'll have to see if he gets witch-wooded, which I know he will at his throat at the very least, because that'll be the attachment point to the sentinel housing. But we'll see about the rest. In fact, this tool might be really good. using spray paint anymore. Light breeze is nice, but I don't need the fan on full. That's where that one is. Let's see. Unfortunately, all it really seems to do from an outset concept is deepen the furrow lines. And if you want to deepen the furrow lines, the easier way to do it would just be to slap a load more clay on it and then reestablish them. Maybe, but not if the flowers take 5.5 hours. And again, on Halloween night, most folks look at these for all of, you know, a few moments. That doesn't mean that they should be bad and substandard, but you got to remember what your time is going in to produce. They should look good, but the discerning eye, I mean, make no mistake, if there was some sort of like prop competition and this is what I did for a living and I was a finalist, then yeah, sure. But I'm saying that I might. You do you. I'm doing me. Sadly, no static prop will ever catch enough eye time with somebody over an animatronic, moving prop, or more importantly, the other, actors, characters, whatever in the haunt. So consequently, going super hypernova on a static prop is not always the most efficient use of scare time. Let's see what happens when we hit it with the juice. Let's see if the juice can't do some of the work for us here. Okay, I'm liking this. All right, the juice is doing it. Yeah, that's much better. And using the juice, I don't have to try to hand sculpt it. So let's see how little work we actually have to do. Let's just throw a roly-poly on there, slap it on, give it a vague flatten. Model section. Slap it on. Give it a vague flatten to the edges. Not really try. Alright, piece, slap it on. Give me a wormy. Slap it on. Vaguely flatten it. On a piece, make it flat. On the bone, put the teeth mark in. Slap it on. Sort of, kind of shape it. Give me a wormy. Slap. Wormy. Slap. Vaguely shaped piece. Slap. All right, let's bring on the sauce. I need a shallower, sharper brush. Okay, sauce. Let's reestablish the bridge. Snot out. Have a good one, Ghost Train. Thanks for hanging with us. Well, I'm not minding the method when the brush is doing 9/10 of the work for me here. That method doesn't take that long. I am not, sadly. I am on Facebook only. Facebook, YouTube, and actually Twitch as well. Good stuff. UnHallowed Haunt is the Facebook page. I think I've got it on the YouTube information there. That is the page of the stuff. Yep, it comes right together. All right, behold the new way we do pumpkins. Mm-hmm. When you let the sauce and the brush do your work for you, doesn't take very long either. This stuff I'm going to barely sculpt at all. See just how much I can get away with this. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. You just have to make sure that you've got yourself a good, good firm armature underneath. The trade-off is that this boy is going to be a little bit heavier. Well, my concern with him is if he's going to be a sentinel, then he's got to get mounted on PVC, and he has to not blow over Halloween night. So I do have a few concerns with weight. Not a lot, but yeah. Let's give that a long blend too. Mm-hmm. I wholeheartedly agree. That looks infinitely more pumpkin-like than, quite frankly, almost any pumpkin I have previously done. In fact, I won't even say almost. This is definitely the most pumpkin-like pumpkin I've ever done. I know almost about it. Mm-hmm. I agree. Hey, you always get better over time. The other stuff was okay, but this method is hands down an improvement. With the brushing, it's not even taking a lot longer. Could do a whole face in about, I don't know, 45 minutes, hour, possibly less. I know I did that part before, but I think it needs to be equivalent to the stuff around it now. Oh, yeah, and also I had no idea that this worked this well at the start, because otherwise you could do this right from your initial planning very easily. You really wouldn't have to waste any time doing any part of it with less than this level of detail. Take care, Lucia. Thank you for hanging out with us. Have a wonderful day. Bonjour, Fanfan. Comment ça va? And that is all the French I know. I wish I knew more French. Oh, how are we doing? Damn. Wow. 30 minutes ago, there was a crappy old pumpkin here. Now there's this beast. Jeebus. Yeah, pretty much with me too, Goliath. Better for Spanish, worse for French. Starting to run out of sauce, but it's okay. Doesn't really take much to do this. And you know we're doing this everywhere right now. This is too good. Alright, that's where our tooth's got to go. We better do that now. In fact, we better make sure that all the modeling that's supposed to happen in here gets done. Totally forgot that I didn't finish that over here. Yeah, I think it's time to redo the pumpkin tutorials. That, or we should do an advanced pumpkin tutorial for special users. Pumpkin tutorial for advanced students in the machining arts. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sounds better. Makes you feel more special. I did one of the advanced pumpkins. Ah. Yep. Time has come. Oops. Well, hands and arms will all be part of the Sentinel tutorial, so that one I'm not too worried about. Should have just enough sauce left to do this. All right, let's blend that down on a long blend. Okay. There we go. that's impressive. Top needs some extensions, but that should be incredibly easy to do. And next time I'm going to have to make more clay and more sauce. But that's fine. And then tonight we'll hit this guy full on with a fan and see how it goes. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Wondering if any of the teeth will need any reinforcement. I think we're all right. Just lay down in there, that's fine. Fantastic. It's having a side benefit of hitting the paper near the folds with an extra blast of paste and watered down clay, which is cementing it very nicely. Yeah, that is really done something special there. Thank you for reminding me, Goliath, to do that. I think we have co-invented this. Your reminder and my... I guess I'll do it. Oh my god. Cool. Yeah, that has a definitively more pumpkin-y organic look to it. 100,000%. Oh, all right. I'm kind of sad I put the witchwood on the mini pumpkins now. Kind of love to do this to them, but unfortunately they are finished. However, the next pumpkin is going to be horrendously awesome. Absolutely horrendously awesome. Okay. So what needs drying? Passive drying, passive drying. This guy is the only guy who needs some heavy drying. Thanks, Joey. No, 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 no. No! You are not going to fall over. Not now. I'll put you there for a full blast of fan. Looks like a hole. Okay. You can get air bubble pockets that open up and they only pop after they're dry a little bit. So looking back over the model the second time, I can see there are some spots where we've got little air pockets that before appeared smooth, even though they were not. But they're few and far between, and I think they won't have a huge impact in the overall pumpkin. So, damn. Now, painting this thing is what I'm going to have to up my game for. Jeebus. All right. Let's put stuff back and not burn my hand again. Phenomenal. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Nothing else to do. I'm sure. I don't even have to cover that anymore. In fact, we can throw out that old plastic. It's under that thing. I'm not touching it. And we got to make up another batch of clay next time. How much more clay am I going to need? This will probably do his other half. I'll need this again. I don't need a huge batch. So, cool. All right, everybody. I think I am good for the evening. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me, chatting, and encouraging me to go to crazy lengths on new methods. Yeah, I know. I'm almost thinking about hauling the airbrush out, but we'll see. We'll see. I can't wait to come up tomorrow when this thing is dry and take a look at just what kind of crazy it's got going on. In fact, I'm going to angle the opening here forward so that that can let a little bit more of the internal moisture out. And wow, this is going to be great. All right. At the end, everybody, thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening / morning wherever you are, and I will catch you hopefully tomorrow, but definitely within 48 hours because, it's that time. I took a look at them earlier when I saw the email. I didn't really have any questions. I'm just going to kind of throw them up as a, here's the cool stuff Goliath is doing on hopefully YouTube and Facebook. So it all looked pretty standard. Armature, clay, the rest. So, all right. Take care, gang. Catch you later on. See you around. This goes with me. This goes with me. That goes to the bathroom. This should go to the bathroom too. Let's all go towards the bathroom.